Bum, bum, bum. Global, your data download is here, and these are the units you will be getting. We have Super Trunks releasing on the 3rd of January 2024. What a great way to start off 2024. Then you got Super Strike Piccolo in here, the side unit Gohan, and then the World Tournament has finally fixed itself. So now that the units are in the actual time frame that they're supposed to be releasing, which we know is already on the 29th of December. I swear they could have fit in Omega Shenron before this. It's like a pretty dead period, I guess, like 5 days. Unless they're saving something, because they still haven't really released the step-up banner for the New Year's, unless they completely skipped that. But there should have been something here. It can still be released, though. For those that don't know what Super Trunks does, he's a Master Evolution leader and Android Cell Saga leader for 3-key 170% and 30% for Rapid Growth or Earthbred fighters. 2-key attack and defense 150%. And additional attack and defense 100%. And launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack and high chance of guarding all attacks when there are another 3 or more Android Cell Saga category allies on the team. This is definitely a must if you want any sort of tanking capability. An additional attack defense 70% when performing a super attack. Attacks effective against all types when there is an enemy, including the name Cell. And then he can transform into Super Trunks, which can be activated when HP is 60% or more, starting from the 3rd turn onwards. But before we get into the transformation condition, we do need to look at his active skill, which can be activated when HP is 60% or more, starting from the 3rd turn from the start of the battle. It will greatly raise his attack temporarily, ultimate damage, and disables an enemy's action once within the turn. Here's the active skill animation. It's pretty simple, nothing too crazy. And then the 12 key is raise attack and defense for 1 turn and immense damage to the enemy. And here is the SA. Nothing particularly anything good. It's just whatever. Now, in order to transform into Super Trunks, from the next turn onwards, after the character has performed 5 or more attacks in battle, or when there's an enemy whose name includes Cell, starting from the 5th turn. And here is the transformation animation. This part is really good, though. I think. Very classy. And then once he becomes into Super Trunks, he gets Key +4, attack and defense 300%, launches an additional super attack and guards all attacks for 3 turns from this character's entry turn, an additional attack defense 200%, the more HP remaining, the greater the stat boost, attack and defense 100% up when performing a super attack, and then he can stun the attacked enemy who this Trunks super attacks. He does have the exact same active skill that we just saw, but in his Super Trunks form, which I think is really cool, and they should do that more often. Can be activated when HP is 60% or more, or when there's an enemy whose name includes Cell. And this time around, it will massively raise attack temporarily, ultimate damages the enemy, and delays a single targeted enemy's attack for 1 turn. All attacks become critical hits within the turn activated. Unfortunately, the animation is exactly the same, except the sprite of the Trunks is now Super Trunks. So as you can see here, he does the T-pose, and I'm pretty sure he says the same thing. And he shoots the beam. Boom. He raises attack and defense on his super attack, immense damage to the enemy, and it is a guaranteed crit on his super attack. And here is the SA animation, which is actually different. So kudos to them. It looks really good, this part. Once you get him into this form, he goes nuts, man. This is why I like the Trunks. Like, if you can have the patience to really get him into the Super Trunks, he is a really good unit. But not many people have the patience nor the time in order to transform into this guy, which is the unfortunate part about him. Gohan is really just ass. The cool thing about him is that he has 24,000 HP at 100%. But yeah, he doesn't get that. He gets some stats, nothing too crazy. No real reason to go through this card until he easy A's. And then the Piccolo here is easy A. Again, just ass. Very weak defensively. He has a nice little support. When you grab 4 more key spheres, you provide your allies 30% attack and defense and some extra key. But other than that, like, his main thing that I like using him for is the orb changing and the support. That's about it. Max dodge on this guy. He does, and he doesn't even raise, he needed to raise defense on his super, sadly. For the easy A for Super Strike Piccolo, you do need to do stage 4 and 3 in order to awaken him to the Tiwa and easy A. Here are all the missions in order to get the medals. Make sure you use First Form Cell. Obviously, the best one is going to be the Prime Battle one. And then use a Power Absorption category team in order to get these medals faster. These are optional, but if you want to do, if you want to farm this event way faster, make sure you do these 4 missions in, particularly in one go is the best way to do it, but you're not forced to. So, yeah, just make sure, just want to let you guys know it is the Super Strike Piccolo event here. Other things you should expect with the Trunks release later on, which is the transforming Super Saiyan Vegeta. So that's good. And Trunks might be finally becoming a farmable character, finally, from the quest mode. I don't think Global has caught up just yet. The weakness for the transforming Vegeta's EZA is sworn enemies. So using these units will help you do extra damage. Remember, he is physical, so try to use STR units when you can. And for the EZA, he's now a Pure Saiyan's leader for 170%, Super Class for 130%. He has a flat attack defense boost of 110% with 30% defense on Super. He greatly raises defense infinitely on his Super. And he is a nuker for 15% attack up per key sphere obtained. And he launches an additional super attack guaranteed with 7 or more key spheres obtained. And he can have a great chance of changing STR key spheres to physical key spheres. And of course, he will transform every single turn. And it will slightly increase all of his stats that we just mentioned. It is until you get into the Super Saiyan 2, where you only need to grab 6 orbs in order to get that guaranteed additional. And then the God will actually be 5 orbs in order to get the guaranteed additional super attack. And then once he turns into blue, he doesn't infinitely raise defense anymore. He will just greatly raise attack and defense for the 1 turn. He gets like the max stats out of all of the transformation, 150% attack and defense, 50% defense on super, 30% attack per orb obtained. He disables enemies guarded with 3 or more key spheres obtained. He launches an additional super attack with 5 or more key spheres obtained. And of course, he changes all of the field to physical orbs for 1 time only. And when you get the 23 orbs, it is a guaranteed critical. And then onwards after that, he will guarantee STR orbs to physical orbs. And because this Trunk celebration did not have a part 2, Omega Shenron should release. Yes, it's getting kind of hectic on Global where this Omega Shenron is going to appear, as well as the baby EZA. It is just a really, really awkward situation, but it should be in the second part of the Super Trunks. And maybe we might still get the New Year's step-up banner. I hope so, at the very least, because it is a good banner. So that's pretty much it for the global data download. Hope you guys did enjoy. Fun fact, I'm live right now, twitch.tv/jphanta. I hope to see you guys there. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, stay fizzy. Peace.